money, the machine. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After life in 9/11, folks. Matt back, looking clean. Dead presses in and I'm alone. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here. He's going to get this.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one. Between the Pittsburgh Steelers and to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this week. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go. Back here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Leonard Fournette commands a lot of attention, not just because he was the first 1,000-yard running back for Jacksonville since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. It's because of his ability to hit the hole fast, to knock people over when he's carrying the football, and to run away from people when he gets to the open field. He actually has changed the identity of the Jacksonville offense. I'm looking forward to watching him for years to come.
Now Bortles. That one complete to Dede Westbrook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit find open space to throw.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first 17 yards on the fake punt, and that's going to be a first down. Well, you want to talk about catching the defense off guard. Opening drive, fake punt, they got it.
That had the total feel of something that was scripted during the entire week leading up to the game. They made that decision probably on Tuesday. First drive of the game, if we don't get it, we're going to fake it, and it pays off in a big way.
On first down, Bortles, incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's second down. These two teams had not one but two memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big. And then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their third AFC Championship game in franchise history. And I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front. He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Gonzalez under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at about the 14. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it,
Still second
you
down.
know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, let's go. Green 80, green 80.
On second down, here's Bortles. Fights off the defender. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Green 80, green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Set, green 80.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Set! Green, 39!
Gonzalez on 1st and 10. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Right.
Hurry up, here we go!
Gonzalez throwing on 1st down toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Now let's go!
Gonzalez now to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only in the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hurry up, here we go!
Operating from the gun, Gonzalez trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
380.
Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Yannick Ngakoue able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Got to give him points for the attempt, and there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Gonzalez now. From the gun, he'll throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw is Gonzalez. Throwing again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Gonzalez operating from the gun, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Set. 380.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Set. 380.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Set. 380.
A handoff to Fournette. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go!
To throw is Gonzalez. Throwing to start the drive. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Gonzalez. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Here's Gonzalez. A final shot before break. And this is going to be incomplete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Devontae Adams, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon LaFell, a touchdown catch in the victory. And finally, on Cyber Monday, put away the credit card and join Monday Night Football as the Titans pay a visit to their former home in Houston. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Here's Gonzalez looking to throw on second down. And he's got room. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go.
First carry for James Conner. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now Gonzalez on first down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Gonzalez on 1st and 10. On the left side, it's McDonald. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Holding offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert.
Still
second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Gonzalez. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket.
And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. With it is Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Gonzalez throwing on 1st down. He's going to rifle, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jesse James, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Green 80.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Green 80.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Green 80. Green is on. Green is on.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a 3rd of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On 1st and 10, Gonzalez. His throw incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Gonzalez now going to throw again, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Gonzalez now. From the gun, he'll throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin with a run by Yeldon. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They keep it with Yeldon on first down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Bortles going to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. 3rd down here.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Green 80! Green 80!
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he finds Seferian-Jenkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Bortles to the former Jet, Seferian-Jenkins for the Jags' first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Bortles now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Set! Green 80!
Now Bortles. Caught. Seferian-Jenkins, right side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 24.
Set! Green 80!
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 80!
To throw, it's Bortles. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing is Bortles. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is line.
Bortles to throw once more. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Set. Green 80.
Here's Yeldon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Now Bortles. Got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. So he didn't start this one the way he wanted to, but he's so elite, been through so many of these battles. Hard to keep him down for an extended period of time.
And to demonstrate just how unusual this start was for him, our guy Marvin handed us some statistics that showed us he doesn't do this very often. What we're seeing now, though, that's what we're used to seeing. He made an adjustment, and boy, it's working really well.
Back to his old form. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play. Bortles to Westbrook. 49 yards. And now the spike with 36 seconds left to go. Now Bortles again. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.